Alright guys, so here we are. I told you guys all about the debacle with the i i7 13700K, and today I just had enough. Now I've been arguing with Intel for a couple days now and trying to get them to replace it. The processor is less than 6 months old, never been overclocked. It's never had anything done to it, but anyway, the only thing I had ever done to that processor through the BIOS is clicked MSI Game Boost. That is not overclocking. Um, and it works. I probably have only used it maybe 4 times. It doesn't put any more power to the processor. Well, I guess it does, but when on your first boot up on an MSI motherboard, it shows you a screen that says what kind of cooler are you using, and then you click on what kind of cooler you're using, and it sets a predetermined power limit that it will deliver to your processor. Now, if I'm not explaining this exactly right, don't get mad at me because I am by far an expert on this. Maybe ask Steve at Gamers Nexus to do a video on it. I do not understand the whole ins and outs of it, but this is not overclocking. So I turned on MSI Game Boost and turned the processor, I turned the PC on, and it turned on fine. I used it, and then I shut it off and never turned it on again. I shut it off and the BIOS never turned it on again. And then about, I don't know, about 4 months later, I go to turn my PC on and nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I assume maybe I've got a RAM stick that's unseated. Maybe it got jostled around. I mean, I highly doubt it. It's on a shelf. So I start troubleshooting this. My first go-to is the clear CMOS buttons. This didn't have a button, it had pins, so I cleared the CMOS. Tried to restart it, nothing. So then I tried reseating the RAM, I tried reseating the graphics card. I mean, not that any of that stuff would have made it so it wouldn't post because it had integrated graphics. The RAM, yes, it would have made it so it wouldn't have posted. I absolutely had no life on the board except for the back I/O. When I plugged in an Ethernet cord, the light would light up. Or I tried to flash the BIOS, which was my next step. Tried to flash to the newest BIOS. Nothing. So anyway, now I'm in talks with Intel to try to get them to replace my i7 13700K. I mean, you're talking, I paid $450 for it 6 months ago. And I'm not saying that I take the best care of my hardware, but I take very good care, fairly good care of it. I mean, I shut my stuff off when I'm not using it. I update everything, if a BIOS update is needed, I do it. I keep my drivers up to date. Where other people will just turn their systems on and leave them on for days. I shut mine off every day before I go to work. Take very meticulous care of my machines. So anyway, as as it goes, I assumed there was something wrong with the motherboard, which there is. It's at MSI being RMA'd right now. Let me see if I can pull that up on the screen for us here. Let's see, there's something going on with our site. Oh, there we go. You see right here, there, anyway, so I forgot where I was with that whole topic. So anyway, you can see that that was as far as I ever went. I think I turned on that XMP and I run it. And I mean, the CPU was boosting to 5, I want to say 5.7 at times, which is plenty of performance for me. It wasn't like I was bottlenecking or anything with the 4070 Ti. So, left it alone. And after 6 months of use, I snapped this board on this MSI board, and this could just be a very rare case where this MSI Z690 DDR4 Edge Wi-Fi board malfunctioned, and so my problem is not only did I burn up my i7 13700K that I purchased, it also burned up my backup CPU that I bought just to test other boards with, my i3-12400F. Yeah. So anyway, getting back to the topic, I had made a video about a week or so ago. It hasn't gone live yet. About the unboxing of this. And that's when I found out my i7 13700K was dead. It was no longer alive, and no longer was the i3-12100F. The only way I found this out was I went up and took the i5 13600KF out of my daughter's machine and threw it in the Z690 ROG Strix board, and it posted immediately. I was absolutely dumbfounded. So anyway, back to the whole. Alright, guys, so anyway, um, I had to stop recording because I had to talk with this agent here on MSI Z690 DDR4 Edge Wi-Fi. I don't understand why they make that name so long, but after speaking with him, anyway, guys, like I was saying, this is where I'm at here. Anyway, make this video first here. So I found I had to contact MSI. My RMA number and serial number was not working on their website, so I just went to MSI chat support, and they said yes. They see that I said, can you tell me what was wrong with it? It ruined two of my CPUs. Sorry for my spelling, guys. I'm not a speller and best typer, and I'm just trying to do several things at once. I do see that we exchanged the MOSFET driver IC. So I asked, so what would cause that? And now my second question is, what am I going to do about the CPUs? Honestly, for electronic products, they aren't really reasons to provide for the malfunctions. I do understand your frustrations, as a malfunction in the part could indeed cause electrical damage. I said, but sir, it ruined $500 worth of CPUs. I understand. I will forward your case over to the local center and have them contact you on the issue and on the damage that was done. And I was typing this before. I said, no, it killed them because I bought a new board and they don't work. And I have tried the board with an i5 12600K and it posted, which it did. It's in my rig sitting beside me. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna turn it on and film it for you guys because just to document I'm telling the truth. I guess there's and I put both of these two CPUs in the board. This one is an empty box. I put it in my daughter's rig to try to see if it would post in her rig, and I got the same response. But this is indeed, it's got thermal paste all over it, but it is definitely an i7 13700K. It was definitely due to that board, that MOSFET failure, and I'm certainly upset, and I really hope that maybe MSI can redeem themselves somehow, but anyway, I proceeded to tell him, do you mean that you tried? I told him that. And he says, do you mean that you tried 3 CPUs and only the i12 600K posted? In the, and I said, yes, in the new board, yes. So the other two are dead. It happened in that board, referring to the MSI board that I RMA'd. And he asked for the model numbers. And I gave him a make, so the i3-12100F was brand new. I took it, I had it sitting here in case I had an issue. In case I had an issue with, what's going on here? Something's going on. Oh, my camera's all fucked up. I had it here sitting in case I had ever had an issue that I thought might have been a CPU issue. It was a $100 processor. I really don't care too much about that one. I mean, yeah, I'd like them to replace it, but so this is where we're at, and I mean, this is the computer world, right? I just really hope that MSI comes good in some way for this. I will continuously make this video until I get to the complete and total bottom of this. And I mean, I'm just kind of lucky in the sense that I am fortunate enough to know that the difference and know what problems cause what. And I didn't get this way overnight, guys. You have to take the time and definitely take the time and take the time and do your research. But I do promise you that that MOSFET killed my CPU. Both of them. So, that being said, the whole reason I've made a couple videos about this. My i7-13700K had got ruined by MSI Z690 board, and I had to RMA the board because it actually ruined two processors. There'll be other videos about that and on my channel if you'd want to watch them. But so I had asked MSI to see if they were gonna replace it, and they pretty much stood me up. But they did fix the board, I guess, and so they told me to reach out to Intel. And the processor was under warranty, but I shouldn't have to be asking Intel to replace it because it was their board that caused it. Anyway, so I did reach out to Intel. It took a whole day for them just to get back to me, just to tell me to reseat my RAM, blah blah blah, which I had already done. Check my graphics card, and I had originally tried an i5-12600KF in the new board I had bought to replace the MSI board, and it posted, but Thing of it is the i7-13700K got nuked. So I had contacted Intel, like I had said, and the whole process took 8 days from the time I contacted them to the time I actually shipped the package out. And it will be another week before I get paid because they're saying that there's no i7-13700Ks in stock to replace it with, which I don't know what their stock looks like, but you would think Intel would have their own processors, and I really would have rather had the processor. But anyway, so they decided they were going to give me a refund on this product. And as you can see, feel free to pause the video here and read through these. This is from this after they decided that they were going to give me, but here you can see that they ask for a lot of specifics, and right here is where they say if the product number and the serial number does not match the number that you started the claim with, they will not do anything for you, which obviously that's fair. I mean, it won't be scammed either. But right here you can see they're gonna give me $490 for the processor. And they give you 3 different options. I took the quick cash one because of the wait time on a check, or the other option I can't remember. It was almost gonna be another 2 weeks before I got my money any other way. I would have just assumed I had the processor, but they told me that was gonna take a month. So as I had stated, I decided to take that option. I gave them all their information here, and they did say that they would reimburse me, but in the end, they sent me a label. If I'd known this, I would have shipped it out myself and paid for it. They sent me a UPS ground label. Told them it was time sensitive matter, and they sent me a UPS ground label. Come to find out, when I went to track the package last night, it's not going to get there until Wednesday. So I'm still waiting a total of 3 weeks from the day my processor died till the time that they said they'd give me a refund. But this is just a video on how the RMA process works through Intel and warranties and services. I'm glad they offer this, but I really wish their turnaround time was better. So, if you got some information out of this video, or if I helped you in any way, please like and subscribe. This is Joe Huckins signing off.